NLT API Genesis 42 verses 1 to 38. NLT Genesis 42 Joseph's brothers go to Egypt 1. When Jacob heard that grain was available in Egypt, he said to his sons, "Why are you standing around looking at one another? 2 I have heard there is grain in Egypt. Go down there and buy enough grain to keep us alive. Otherwise we'll die." 3 So Joseph's 10 older brothers went down to Egypt to buy grain. But Jacob wouldn't let Joseph's younger brother, Benjamin, go with them, for fear some harm might come to him. 5 So Jacob's *42:5 Hebrew Israel's. See note on 35:21. Sons arrived in Egypt along with others to buy food, for the famine was in Canaan as well. 6 Since Joseph was governor of all Egypt and in charge of selling grain to all the people, it was to him that his brothers came. When they arrived, they bowed before him with their faces to the ground. 7 Joseph recognized his brothers instantly, but he pretended to be a stranger and spoke harshly to them. "Where are you from?" he demanded. "From the land of Canaan," they replied. "We have come to buy food." 8 Although Joseph recognized his brothers, they didn't recognize him. 9 And he remembered the dreams he'd had about them many years before. He said to them, "You are spies. You have come to see how vulnerable our land has become." 10 No, my lord, they exclaimed. "Your servants have simply come to buy food." 11 We are all brothers, members of the same family. We are honest men, sir. We are not spies. 12 Yes, you are, Joseph insisted. "You have come to see how vulnerable our land has become." 13 Sir, they said, "there are actually 12 of us. We, your servants, are all brothers, sons of a man living in the land of Canaan. Our youngest brother is back there with our father right now, and one of our brothers is no longer with us." 14 But Joseph insisted, "As I said, you are spies." 15 This is how I will test your story. I swear by the life of Pharaoh that you will never leave Egypt unless your youngest brother comes here. 16 One of you must go and get your brother. I'll keep the rest of you here in prison. Then we'll find out whether or not your story is true. By the life of Pharaoh, if it turns out that you don't have a younger brother, then I'll know you are spies. 17 So Joseph put them all in prison for 3 days. 18 On the 3rd day Joseph said to them, "I am a God-fearing man. If you do as I say, you will live." 19 If you really are honest men, choose one of your brothers to remain in prison. The rest of you may go home with grain for your starving families. 20 But you must bring your youngest brother back to me. And you will not die. To this they agreed. 21 Speaking among themselves, they said, "Clearly we are being punished because of what we did to Joseph long ago. We saw his anguish when he pleaded for his life, but we wouldn't listen. That's why we're in this trouble." 22 Didn't I tell you not to sin against the boy? Reuben asked, "But you wouldn't listen. And now we have to answer for his blood." 23 Of course, they didn't know that Joseph understood them, for he had been speaking to them through an interpreter. 24 Now he turned away from them and began to weep. When he regained his composure, he spoke to them again. Then he chose Simeon from among them and had him tied up right before their eyes. 25 Joseph then ordered his servants to fill the men's sacks with grain, but he also gave secret instructions to return each brother's payment at the top of his sack. He also gave them supplies for their journey home. 26 So the brothers loaded their donkeys with the grain and headed for home. 27 But when they stopped for the night, and one of them opened his sack to get grain for his donkey, he found his money in the top of his sack. 28 Look, he exclaimed to his brothers. "My money has been returned. It's here in my sack." Then their hearts sank. Trembling, they said to each other, "What has God done to us?" 29 When the brothers came to their father, Jacob, in the land of Canaan, they told him everything that had happened to them. 30 The man who is governor of the land spoke very harshly to us, they told him. He accused us of being spies scouting the land. 31 But we said, "We are honest men, not spies." 32 We are 12 brothers, sons of one father. One brother is no longer with us, and the youngest is at home with our father in the land of Canaan. 33 Then the man who is governor of the land told us, "This is how I will find out if you are honest men. Leave one of your brothers here with me. and take grain for your starving families and go on home. 34, but you must bring your youngest brother back to me. Then I will know you are honest men and not spies. Then I will give you back your brother, and you may trade freely in the land. 35, as they emptied out their sacks. There in each man's sack was the bag of money he had paid for the grain. The brothers and their father were terrified when they saw the bags of money. 36, Jacob exclaimed, "You are robbing me of my children. Joseph is gone. Simeon is gone. And now you want to take Benjamin, too. Everything is going against me." 37, then Reuben said to his father, "You may kill my 2 sons if I don't bring Benjamin back to you. I'll be responsible for him, and I promise to bring him back." 38, but Jacob replied, "My son will not go down with you. His brother Joseph is dead, and he is all I have left. If anything should happen to him on your journey, you would send this grieving, white-haired man to his grave." 42:38 Hebrew to Sheol. NLT API Genesis 43 verses 1 to 34. NLT Genesis 43, the brothers returned to Egypt. 1, but the famine continued to ravage the land of Canaan. 2, when the grain they had brought from Egypt was almost gone, Jacob said to his sons, "Go back and buy us a little more food." 3, but Judah said, "The man was serious when he warned us. You won't see my face again unless your brother is with you. For if you send Benjamin with us, we will go down and buy more food." 5, but if you don't let Benjamin go, we won't go either. Remember, the man said, "You won't see my face again unless your brother is with you." 6, why were you so cruel to me? Jacob *43:6 Hebrew Israel. Also in 43:11. See note on 35:21. Moaned, "Why did you tell him you had another brother?" 7, the man kept asking us questions about our family. They replied. He asked, "Is your father still alive? Do you have another brother?" So we answered his questions. How could we know he would say, "Bring your brother down here"? 8, Judah said to his father, "Send the boy with me, and we will be on our way. Otherwise we will all die of starvation, and not only we, but you and our little ones." 9, I personally guarantee his safety. You may hold me responsible if I don't bring him back to you. Then let me bear the blame forever. 10, if we hadn't wasted all this time, we could have gone and returned twice by now. 11, so their father, Jacob, finally said to them, "If it can't be avoided, then at least do this. Pack your bags with the best products of this land. Take them down to the man as gifts: balm, honey, gum, aromatic resin, pistachio nuts, and almonds." 12, also take double the money that was put back in your sacks, as it was probably someone's mistake. 13, then take your brother and go back to the man. May 14th, God Almighty *43:14 Hebrew El Shaddai. Give you mercy as you go before the man, so that he will release Simeon and let Benjamin return. But if I must lose my children, so be it. 15, so the men packed Jacob's gifts and double the money and headed off with Benjamin. They finally arrived in Egypt and presented themselves to Joseph. 16, when Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the manager of his household, "These men will eat with me this noon. Take them inside the palace. Then go slaughter an animal and prepare a big feast." 17, so the man did as Joseph told him and took them into Joseph's palace. 18, the brothers were terrified when they saw that they were being taken into Joseph's house. "It's because of the money someone put in our sacks last time we were here," they said. "He plans to pretend that we stole it. Then he will seize us, make us slaves, and take our donkeys." A feast at Joseph's palace. 19, the brothers approached the manager of Joseph's household and spoke to him at the entrance to the palace. 20, sir, they said, "we came to Egypt once before to buy food." 21, but as we were returning home, we stopped for the night and opened our sacks. Then we discovered that each man's money, the exact amount paid, was in the top of his sack. Here it is, we have brought it back with us. 22, we also have additional money to buy more food. We have no idea who put our money in our sacks. 23, relax. Don't be afraid, the household manager told them. Your God, the God of your father, must have put. Then he released Simeon and brought him out to them. 24 the manager provided food for their donkeys. 25 they were told they would be eating there, so they prepared their gifts for Joseph's arrival at noon. 26 when Joseph came home, they gave him the gifts they had brought him, then bowed low to the ground before him. 27 after greeting them, he asked, "How is your father, the old man you spoke about? Is he still alive?" 28 yes, they replied. "Our father, your servant." And they bowed low again. 29 Then Joseph looked at his brother Benjamin, the son of his own mother. "Is this your youngest you told me about?" Joseph asked. "May God be gracious to you, my son." 30 Then Joseph hurried from the room, because he was overcome with emotion for his brother. He went into his private room, where he broke down and wept. 31 After washing his face, he came back out, keeping himself under control. Then he ordered, "Bring out the food." 32 The waiters served at his own table, and his brothers were served at a separate table. The Egyptians who ate with Joseph sat at their own table, because Egyptians and refused to eat with them. 33 Joseph told each of his brothers where to sit, and to their amazement, he seated them according to age, from oldest to youngest. 34 And Joseph filled their plates with food from his own table, giving Benjamin 5 times as much as he gave the others. So they feasted and drank freely with him.